Alright, just picked up my new Taurus. I'm going to unbox it. I said before I hated Taurus, but I want to try him again. It's been 10 years since I had issues with the Taurus, and I have my 342 PD as a basis of comparison. And I'm going to unbox this thing and fire a few rounds. Basic paperwork. The thing that's kind of cool about Taurus is they have the lifetime warranty regardless of the owner, which is kind of nice. So here we are. Made in Brazil, it says on it. I don't like that, but it says that. And it's got a couple of keys in there, and yeah, whatever. But here we are, Taurus. It's actually a lot smaller than I would have expected it to be. Looks somewhat the same as the 342. It's actually not as heavy as I would have expected either. Pretty light. So, let's take this little protector out. The ejector's a little short, but that's to be expected. It has these letters on it, MX. I don't have a clue why. That's a little strange. It's got a little tag here. Pull that off. Alright. So, let's give it a dry fire and see what I think about it. Compare it to the 342. This one's a little bit lighter than the 342, but just a hair grittier. Not enough to really matter, not enough to complain about. Now if I was going to use it single action, that's like buttery smooth. There's not much to that. Very, very light. It's very smooth, like you don't feel any stacking or anything when you cock that hammer. It's just like buttery smooth, which is kind of different than what I'm used to. The trigger face looks identical to the Smith & Wesson. It's pretty wide, unlike Ruger's that are kind of narrow. The grip is very, very short. It's got that little thing down there for your pinky, but even so, it's a little bit small for me. Well, let's fire some rounds. I have some hand-loaded magnums here, 357. Now these are pretty much light magnums. I got about 1230 feet per second in the 4-inch barrel, so maybe about 1100 feet per second in the snubby. But let's see how it shoots at 7 yards. Alright, we're at 7 yards. We'll load this thing up with these magnums. See how it does for me. 5 shots. Hold that one a little high. Alright, some of them are high, some of them pretty good actually. Windage is right on with this thing. We're not hitting right or left at all. Case extraction seems fine. This grip has a lot of texture on it, and what I'm feeling is all of that texture going into my skin upon recoil. It's a little bit unpleasant. And because this grip is kind of the way it is, I'm kind of seeing this trend where it wants to, I don't have enough there to keep that muzzle down, canted down when it recoils. Alright, I pulled a couple there. But, 21 feet, it's starting to look good. But my hand is starting to hurt right there. That texture is just going right into it. That's uncomfortable. Yeah, it's getting to the point where it's kind of, I don't want to keep going because it's starting to actually bite into my skin here. Even though I don't use this option much, I'm going to try some single action just to kind of see what it does. All right, I'll try a few rounds of single action at that piece of tape. See if I can hit it. I think it's hitting a little bit high. I think. I'll aim right below it. It's hard to tell where I'm hitting. Yeah, this grip is brutal. I'm going to fire a couple rounds over my chronograph just to kind of see what kind of velocity I'm getting on those rounds that I was getting about 12.33. I think it was 5-shot average. 4-inch barrel. I'll see what I'm getting through the 2-inch barrel. Alright, set my chronograph really quick. I don't even have the light bar over the top. So it might not pick up these numbers, but I just want to kind of see in a 2-inch barrel what I'm getting with these 357 hand loads. I was getting 1233 feet per second average in the 4-inch barrel. So let me see what I get in the 2-inch barrel. 1178. 1126. 1152. 1173. 1180. So we're only doing about maybe 50-60 feet per second difference in this. And it could be because I've heard that Taurus has a little bit tighter cylinder gap than other brands, which may be true. But that's the reason why I got the stainless model instead of the blued model, because I thought, well, if that becomes an issue where I find that the cylinder gap is a little bit tight, I can always polish the front of the cylinder face. That should help at least a little bit, especially if you want to conceal carry the thing. 5-10 shots is not going to have enough crud on the front to tighten that gap enough to really cause any issues. So I'm going to try a few more rounds. I was going to test out the 170 grain lead bullets for life rounds, but they're too long for this particular revolver. They fit my 686 just fine, but they're not going to fit this. Very interesting. Alright, I only have 6 rounds left, and as customary, I'm going to fire up my propane tank. It's about 45 yards, measured it out several times, and we'll see if we can hit it with these magnums in this little short barrel revolver. Not sure where I hit. That one shot a little bit to the left for me. I grazed it. A little bit left again. I think I hit it, it just didn't do anything. So, alright, the first shot's on the Taurus 605. It's getting a little sticky here, but I'll give the gun a once over, just kind of looking at the thing here. Interesting, it has a lined barrel. It's kind of interesting for a gun that's all stainless. Why it needs to be lined, I don't know. So far so good, but I can definitely tell that the tolerances are pretty tight on this, tighter than a Smith & Wesson, because it's only been 30-40 rounds or however many it's been, and it's a little bit sticky here, a little bit sticky, which for 357 Magnum carry guns not really a big deal, but it's just the first thing I noticed. So that's the first shots, unboxing of the Taurus 605. I hope to use it in my ballistic test videos. You know, the reason why I wanted this one so much is because it's inexpensive. I don't have to worry about too much about it, and it's a 2-inch barrel instead of a 1.875 inch or a 2.125 inch or 2 1/4 inch. You know, the 2-inch really splits the difference between all the different barrel lengths. Therefore, when I give ballistic information, chronograph numbers and everything, you know, it's splitting the difference for most people. So most people are going to get a pretty good idea of what kind of velocity they're getting, because You know, you find ballistic information on, like, let's say a SP101, and somebody's got a 1.875 inch barrel, and you're getting closer to a half-inch difference there, and that might actually make a difference. But right in the middle, it should give pretty good information. So just want to share that. So as always, comment, share, and like, and thanks for watching.